So good evening. Thank you for coming out. We're going to tell you about an incident, an officer-involved incident that took place in the 5200 block of Timuquana Road, and Director Mark Romano is going to give you the details of what we have right now. Director.
Thanks, Sheriff. Good evening. So at about 2 o'clock this morning, patrol officers responded to the 4500 block of Lenox Avenue. They were called to a business burglary, and at that time, the complainant on that call said that his grandson, who is the suspect in this incident today, his name is Paton Pinette. His grandson had broke into the business, stole a revolver, started shooting the revolver, and then fled shortly thereafter. So fast forward to about 3 p.m. this afternoon, where officers were dispatched to a business right here on Timuquana Road in the 5200 block. At that time, they made contact with a female victim who stated that her neighbor, Paton Pinette, our suspect today, pointed a revolver at her and threatened her. After learning this information, officers gathered up and went to Mr. Pinette's residence at an apartment here down the street. They attempted to make contact with him. While trying to do that, Mr. Pinette shot at the officers at least 2 times. Our officers fired back. It is unknown at that time if they actually hit Mr. Pinette. Of course, because it was an armed suspect at that time, our SWAT team responded. And after several minutes of negotiating with him, Mr. Pinette came out of his front door. He was armed with a revolver in one hand and a knife in the other hand. He came out in an aggressive manner, and when he went to lift the gun, a SWAT officer shot him. The suspect died at the scene. State Attorney's Office is on scene doing their own independent investigation, and this is our 13th officer-involved shooting of the year. I can give you so the suspect's name is Paton John Pinette, it's P-I-N-E-T-T-E. He's a white male, 26 years of age. Our shooting officers, our patrol officer, R.C. Samples. This is his second officer-involved shooting. Canine officer, K.C. Gerald. It's his second officer-involved incident. And the SWAT officer is J.D. Price. It's his third officer-involved incident. And I can take some questions.
Were there at any point hostages or other people in danger, maybe like in his specific area other than the first victim who he threatened?
Not to my knowledge, no.
I talked to a family member who said he was shooting it. Not true.
I hadn't heard that.
Prior to today's incident, had JSO had any kind of contact with this guy before?
I'm not sure.
Any idea if he was on drugs at the time, has a history of drugs or anything like that?
I don't know that. Obviously the medical examiner will do those types of tests, and we'll figure that out.
So just for clarification, this actually all started at 2 o'clock in the morning with a theft.
That was the incident that we were able to link to this incident with the gun.
And it was a family member called JSO and said, my family member is involved, took a gun.
Correct.
During the when he threatened the other woman, I was told that she was gardening at the time, and can you kind of explain what went down in that aspect?
He made the statement and something to the effect of, it's a bad day for you to be gardening, and pointed the gun at her. No, I don't know.
Have neighbors said to you guys if this suspect has been acting erratic recently or anything like that?
Not to my knowledge, no.
Also, I noticed that one of the crime scene unit, it was more of a truck. The crime scene truck, and it said like major crimes on it. What's the difference between that truck crime scene unit compared to the others?
So the major crimes were, the major shootings and murders, just a different truck.
So was any technology in there that could be
No,
different?
nothing different.
I know during when you guys were trying to negotiate with him to come out, you could hear through someone else's cell phone that was in there where you guys had eyes on this guy the entire time. Seemed like, I think one of the statements was, "We see. Don't put your hands on the gun." Was that from the use of the drone to see where everything that he was doing?
We have technology that helps us see what the suspect's actions are so that we can pass it on to our officers on the scene.
Last question.
There also, what people said, what they believed flashbangs that went off at that time. Was that, I'm assuming, before he came outside? Was that to lure him out? Did anyone throw flashbangs at him?
I don't know anything about flashbangs. Of course, I wasn't here at the time either.
Thank you, Director.
Thank you.